GGC celebrates Military Appreciation Day as Georgia Gwinnett sweeps the doubleheader over LUB, and we're joined now by our Grizzly of the day, and Chris Jones. Chris, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just a phenomenal performance here. Let's roll the highlights. A lot to get to here today as Georgia Gwinnett hosts Military Appreciation Day. Did you know the flyover was happening? Where were you? What was your perspective?
Nah, I thought it was real great, but they told us they were coming today, and it was pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, 450 miles an hour through the Grizzly Athletics Complex. It's a pretty cool day. It started off a great day as Georgia Gwinnett takes game number 1 over LUB by a score of 3-2. Between last night's 14-inning marathon and the 4-hour contest, what was the attitude and the energy like today coming to the ballpark?
We definitely wanted to pick it up and not wait to the end of the game, to get things going. We wanted to come out with a lot of energy and take care of business.
Grizzlies get a big home run from Line Lark early in game number 1. Hunter Dolan there literally had the glove knocked off his hand today defensively as a pitcher. He's in this mix of starting rotation as one of the 5 or 6 guys that could be a starter. How much confidence do you have in him when he's out there on the mound? And is it any more or any less with other guys out there?
No, it's definitely the same. I know whenever they step out on the mound, they want to have the ball and they're going to go execute. And I can see it from center field when he's hitting his spots. I know he's doing good.
How quickly do you know from center field in that perspective? Because you got just as good a vantage point as maybe Ryan Lark or some of the catchers.
Yeah, I definitely like having it, especially when I think we should get a couple calls. I try to say something.
Do you usually get bats like, hey, I thought you missed the one the last inning. Help me out here.
Nah, I won't say nothing to the boo, though.
I hear you. Grizzlies have exploded now for a total of 38 hits in this 3-game series. This offense has been tried and true all season long. How does that help in your development in your senior year, knowing that you don't have to carry the load, any one individual, that this team could produce 10 hits or more at any given time?
Yeah, it's definitely great. It allows you to just relax and work on whatever you need to work on, and when the time comes, somebody's gonna step up. Like yesterday, we had a lot of guys pick each other up, so that's always nice to have, and I think that's a good quality for us, especially going to the playoffs.
Grizzlies showing their depth in this series, too. A couple of guys getting injured and guys stepping in, and the team still not taking a step back as Georgia Gwinnett, again, wins game number 1 by a score of 3-2 as we're looking at the highlights in game number 2 here for you. You've, over the last, I don't want to call it a slump, but you've struggled a little bit here with your swing. Yeah. I've also noticed, too, about every night when I'm leaving the ballpark, you're in the cages hitting. What have you worked on to try to get over this somewhat of a struggle recently?
Yeah, well, you might get me mixed up with Brandon. He working on his lefty swing too. But for sure after practice, me and like Nick Tanner and B-Rob, we go down there and just a lot of simplifying things and not trying to do too much. Just getting my top hand there and just really getting the barrel to the ball.
Well, you did that 5 times today, getting the barrel to the ball. You went 5 for 5 with 4 stolen bases, by the way, in game number 2, and it ties the school record. 1, did you know that going into your last at-bat? And 2, who's the first person that told you?
No, I didn't know nothing about that.
So this is breaking news right now. 5 for 5. Garland did it earlier this season, tying the record that Josh Merrigan currently has. When I say something that your name is going in a record book at GGC here in your senior season, what does that mean to you?
That's definitely a great feeling. I don't think I've had anything like that, so that's one for the books for sure.
And so a big day for you and the Grizzlies. Georgia Gwinnett strung 3 doubles in a row there in a crooked 8th inning as GGC extends the lead and wins the contest 10-4 on Military Appreciation Day. Chris, on a day like today, we get to reflect and understand, to get to play the game of baseball and get to be at a wonderful facility like this, how grateful we are because of the men and women that protect this country. Yeah. How has the military impacted you and your family?
I got a granddad that was in the military and an older cousin, and like you said, it really lets you know, like, not to take things for granted. And what you have, be thankful for it, because those guys are out there risking their life, and you never know, like, what it could be, what your situation could be. So I always want to take things for grateful and be grateful.
Very well said here, Chris Jones, again, as we wrap up our doubleheader sweep as Georgia Gwinnett takes down LUB. And, Chris, with that, send us out on some shout-outs, man. A good Saturday here from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Chris, take us home, man.
I definitely want to shout out the whole team. I think they played great this weekend. I see Cam right there. Definitely shout out the guys I'm always working with, Nick Tanner, Brandon Robinson, Coach Dalt. Who else? I know Garland was asking for one. Ducey, number 2. He know who he is. And I see Big Tone right there Leo gets a shout out too. Don't put your pants down.
Leo's raking the ball over the ballpark.
And Bird right there. Bird and Colin, those my life. And my family, of course. I can't forget they're always supporting. My family first, but those are the shout outs for today.
Chris, congratulations, my man. Again, Georgia Gwinnett sweeps the series over LUB, extending their winning streak to now 8 games, and Georgia Gwinnett 34-8 as a second-ranked team in the NAI.